Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Welcome back to Wednesday. Here we are. We are live. First time here, welcome. This is where we talk about Hotshot trucking. So, you guys, I hope you had a good week so far. We're dead in the middle of the week, and we are rocking and rolling. Now, before we go too much further, we're going to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for our country. We would not be the country we are without them. Wounded Warrior Project in St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is our charity of choice. We will, if you need help getting started, you like to be in the mentorship program, you can go over there and pick a mentorship package. And whatever is donated over there, we match and give to them at the end of the year. So thank you for helping us help them. Tonight, we are talking about Hotshot trucking with me. And it's Hotshot trucking in 2025, thriving in a challenging market. Thriving in a challenging market. Okay, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So, again, I hope everybody's having a good week, and yeah, we're gonna have a good week here. Let's see what we got happening. All right, gas prices. Gas prices are down to an average of $3.08 per gallon. That's down 2 6/10 cents from a week ago. Picture of the week. This is Robert. He's out there towing equipment this week. It's a man lift. And we have Chris. Chris is in the snow playing around. What he's got on there, but that's a lot of tarp, brother. A lot of tarp. Here's Chris again. I want you guys to look at this tarp, man. This thing is massive. That's damn near a 40-foot tarp job. So, yeah. So Richard's hauling pipe. He had to tarp that thing too. This time of year, guys, just about everything we're getting is going to be tarped, unfortunately. All right, crazy shit you see out there. And again, guys, you know, when I tell you that this time of year, people aren't paying attention to what they're doing. I almost got, you know, we had a driver hit last week. I almost got in an accident without a trailer this week. I got a picture of that coming up. But you got to be hyper vigilant and extremely cautious and watch everybody else because they're stupid. All right, so what'd they do? Robert said he had no idea what the hell happened. That's it. He just drove it in a ditch for whatever reason. And, you know, these things happen and nobody knows why they happen. They just happen. All right, so here's what we got going on. This is me driving through, you know, we're headed to somewhere. And watch this car directly in front of me. Hits his brakes. I go around him, and then he just pulls out in front of me. Now, if I'd have had a 10,000-foot trailer or a 10,000-pound trailer on that, I believe I'd have taken his door off. But this is what people are doing out there on a consistent basis right now. And yeah, It's a little bit crazy at the moment. You need to slow your roll and be careful with what you're doing. All righty. Hotshot trucking in 2025, surviving a challenging market. That's what we're going to talk about. Oh, I lost me there for a minute. I pushed the wrong button. Look, I'm not good at this. I'm going to just tell you, I'm much better driving the truck than I am playing with this mess. So 2025, this is what we got coming up the year. Now, the last week or so, last week was pretty decent. This week's been kind of slow. I suspect next week it'll be slower. In 2025, what do we have going on? Well, you know, the things that I look at for 2025 is this. Interest rates are still high. Truck prices, as far as Hotshot Class 5 trucks, are coming down, but they're not coming down fast enough. So I'd like to see those come down a little bit more. As far as the freight goes, I want to tell you guys something. I think we're going to be back to about standard freight averages. But, you know, for those who are out there waiting to jump in, and I turned down 7 guys this week, about one a day is what I turned down for one reason or the other. And it's really strange because it's not all the same. The guys are coming to me, is it time to get in? What do you mean, is it time to get in? Guys, time to get in is when you're ready and you're prepared. That's when it's time to get in. If you've got your CDL, what I see for 2025 is if you've got your CDL and you've got your equipment purchased at the right price, you're not buried in debt, you know how to survive the ups and downs of the market, you have a little bit of experience in business management, you can get in and do okay. Are you going to hit grand slams every time you get up to bat? No. This is not the COVID area. The COVID area time is over. Okay, this is just regular trucking now. Hotshot trucking in 2025, will it be there? Absolutely. CDL, where you're able to put 18,000 pounds on your back and go, yeah, you'll make money at it as long as you keep your wheels rolling. If you think you can jump into this and set it to house, it's not going to work. Had a guy reach out to me the other day. He said, I got a 2,500 and a 30-foot trailer, and I wanted, and the key word is always jump into Hotshot. You know, those are red flags to me right off the top when somebody comes at me like that. I want to jump into it because they've missed the whole aspect that hotshotting is a business. You're not jumping into the pool. Okay. You're opening a swimming pool. And you have to get that in your head is that this is not something you jump into. This is not Amway. It's not a multi-level marketing scheme. This is a business and it takes a lot of hard work. And you just have to run it like a business. So do you want to jump into something you know nothing about? That's the question. Have you studied? Do you have a mentor? Do you understand what the trucking industry is about? Okay, because this is trucking. No more, no less. It's trucking. You can sex it up with hotshot trucking, but it's trucking. You're in a smaller unit, but the danger, the risk, reward are the same. Okay. So when The guy that reached out said he had a 2,500 and a 30-foot trailer, and I can't remember all the criteria, but it's like, I want to drive around the block and be home every night and make a gazillion dollars. It was basically it. And I said, do something else, you'll go broke. Don't bother with it. Look, if you call me, I'm going to listen to what you have to say. And I am going to give you my honest opinion about things. And it may hurt your feelings. Had one gentleman call me that, first of all, his equipment was too old. So that was one. Secondly, he had a 6-year-old child that he had full custody of, and he was going to take him on the road with him. And, you know, the old equipment was a no. The child in the cab is a hell no. You can't do that. And, you know, those are the kind of things I would rather have somebody wait until they're ready than to dive into it. Now, 2025. Now, you know, one other thing too is the last year and a half had been seriously plagued with scammers. Okay, the industry was and is and has been beat up with scammers. People scamming the brokers, scamming the shippers, scamming the carriers. All of us have been scammed out of money. And all of us had to adapt our procedures, had to adapt what we are working with and how things were done. And when you get into this business, you're probably not going to get into it with everything top shelf, right, ready to go, and you will have to adapt. And as you do this and as you adapt, you have to realize that if you're unwilling to adapt, you'll die. It'll absolutely kill you. Now, one of the areas that we had to adapt on was, for example, something small. Now, we've had the dd214transport.com website up and rolling since the beginning. But because of the expense in the beginning, I did not buy. You have to buy those emails separately. And I didn't buy them. And we were running off of Gmail accounts. And let me just tell you, guys, that was dangerous, because that's where we got hacked a couple times, was on our email accounts. So we ended up adapting and buying dd214.com emails, because you couldn't operate with that. It just got to the point that every time you went to move, you were being hacked. So overcoming and adapting every situation is vital. It's vital, and it's got to be within you. I tell people a lot, the only constant in transportation is change. And if you are someone that cannot change, you will die in this industry. You have to be able to change. And it might be a day where your load changes 3 times. Your pickup time may change, your delivery time may change, and you just have to roll with that. You suck it up, say it is what it is, let's roll, and just keep going. Because if you stew on it, it's going to drive you crazy, and you're going to have a lot of windshield time. That if you're I'm thinking of a word, I'll get to it in a second, but if your thought process is negative, it's just going to drag you down. You're just going to go negative. So now I think that we're back on an even keel. During COVID, we had all these people dive in. Everybody wanted to be a hotshot. Well, and it was paying good money. those days are over again. You're coming just right back to transportation, just supply and demand. That's what it's going to pay. And the key to getting in this business, and I tell it all the time, is one, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Two, legal, safe, profitable. That's where you have to be. If you're not the first two, you'll never be the third. And when you get your equipment, you get it right. Make sure you buy your equipment right. And you don't buy beat up equipment. You buy used equipment, but don't buy it beat up. And don't buy old, because old won't stand up to this torture. So I think I never give hey, it's time to get in. But I will say 2025 is and has been better than the last couple years. Last couple years have been tough. Okay. But we're here, and I'm still here. So if I'm here, then there's got to be something going on. Now, we're going to open this up to the floor and see what everybody's got going on, what everybody's thinking. And if you got something, throw it up here. Miss Mila, we got anything? How do you find loads with a new authority? Thank you for your advice. Well, with a new authority, it's tough, brother. William, I'm going to tell you, with a new authority, you have to realize that, we've been preaching on this channel not to jump in with a new authority, because you're going to have 6 months, you're going to struggle. And you will. You're going to struggle. It'll get better after 30 days, but it's going to struggle. There's a lot of brokers out there that's not even taking new carriers at all. Like that, they're like, we got enough carriers, we're not taking anymore. So the best thing you could do, if I were you, would go over to Iggy 6 Dispatch and apply for dispatch and let that team over there work with you on getting your loads and getting you through the first six months or so. That's what I would do. I hope that helps you out, William. All right, Mr. Wagner, what should be the process when those loads dropped on your trailer? I had a 1,000-pound cast iron pump, hosing drop. Any advice? Not much damage, no frame or. Okay, so here's the deal. I had lots of pictures taken, email chain started, a broker shipper stating that what happened during the loading. To cover myself as far as the load is concerned. Okay, you've got lots of pictures. You've notified people. If your truck is damaged, that is the shipper's issue. Now, one thing you have to realize, and one thing I found out, is that if they're not willing to pay you right there, if the shipper's not willing to cut you a check right there, you have to get a police report. Okay, have to. I had one dropped on mine. It busted a board, or I think it busted a board, and they paid me $250 cash right there just to replace the board. But if they hadn't been willing to do that, the next step is to get a police report. Otherwise, insurance will not cover that. Okay, if you don't have a report, insurance will not cover it. Now, the fact that you took pictures, you notified the broker immediately that the shipper has dropped this on your trailer, you're in good shape, brother. You did the right thing. You did exactly the right thing. And exactly what I'd recommend you to do is to get a hold of that broker, and you do this before you leave the shipper. I want to tell everybody again, you make all this happen before you leave the shipper. Okay. Once you roll out, you have accepted the load as is, and it becomes your responsibility. Okay. Don't leave the shipper like that. You did good, Jacob. I'm proud of you. Good job. All right, Brad Lloyd, former fighter, Corn Automotive Tech. I'm looking at the automotive hotshot side since I have many dealer connections. Looking 4 to 5 car hauler. What are your thoughts on cars over freight? Brad, all right, brother. I'm going to tell you, we are a freight company. I do not do cars. I do not have a lot of insights on the pros and cons. I can only tell you what I found out about the car hauling business and why it didn't suit me. One is cars are cheap. They're cheap dates. They run $1 a mile probably. So I'm not crazy about that. Um, the second thing I didn't care about the cars was that they do a lot of night and weekend running because your car auctions are during the day. You can't load until the car auction is over. You load, you travel at night, you unload first thing in the morning. That's how I saw it running. And for me, that didn't work for me. A lot of people it works for. They're out here. I see them every day. But it just didn't work for me. And you have to determine, Brad, what works for you. Um, as far as being able to make money with car hauling, I'm assuming they do. I mean, there's thousands of them out there. So my guess with that would be you would need to build, since you already have a lot of dealer connections, you're in the driver's seat. So you have a better start than most. And I would say, hey, follow your dream, brother. If that's what you want to do that. And best of luck to you. I hope you do great. If there's anything I can do for you, which I'm not, I'm not very knowledgeable with the car hauling thing, but anything else, give me a yell. I'll help you if I can. Thanks. All right. When is a tipping point of changing companies? My current company appears to not care about when I need downtime. Family comes first in my eyes. Don't want my wife getting mad. No, you don't want your wife getting mad. The tipping point is you, brother. If uh, if now I'm assuming um, that you are running under another authority. Can you answer that before I go too crazy in this? But I'm assuming you're running under somebody's authority. Now, if that's the case, you have to remember that your downtime reflects on you. He's leased on to somebody, right? Yeah. So look, you're still the owner of your company. All right. When it comes to downtime, you are in charge of that. At least you are with us. With us, we recommend you go out 2 weeks and come back for a week. That's what we recommend. Um, if you're looking to do less than that, you're not going to make anybody any money doing that. But when it comes, as long as you understand that you're paying your insurance, whether you're running or not, then you can pretty much call your downtime as you see it. You're right, your family comes first, and if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. But that should also have been an understanding before you got into this business as to what was going to be required. But the tipping point is you. You are the master of your company. If it's not working for you, make a change. And that's the only thing I can say about that. I've got drivers that consistently are out for 2 weeks and go home for a week. I got one that I got to send home. So, it's that in a nutshell. This is your company and you make it happen. Okay. All right. Hope that helped you out. All right, Jacob. All emails and info was exchanged before I was willing to leave. Waited an hour, but finally got it in writing. There you go. You did fine, man. You covered your ass. That's what you got to do in this thing. Good job. Gerald, if planning for this business starting in July or August 2025, should I go ahead and pursue getting my authority in order to time out? All right. So here's the thing. You can get your authority, but you have to keep insurance on that thing. All right. And the question, and if you can afford to keep insurance on that deal, now you won't have to keep cargo, but you will have to keep auto liability for that 6 months. And yes, you can do that. I've had people that leased on to me while their authority was aging. Again, you have to keep that insurance going there, and you have to have our insurance. So it's a painful way to go. But yes, Gerald, you can absolutely do that. If that's what you want to do, it's an expensive route to go that way. But at the end of that time, you have to realize you do have the stigma. You do have the stigma going. But in that 6 months, you've built no relationships with any brokers. Okay. So, it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So just if you want to just pay the insurance up and let it sit there for 6 months, you can do that. Yes, you can. Absolutely. That's a way to do it. But just know that, that's just an expense that you're going to have with no income. So hope that helped you out, Gerald. Again, thanks. Okay. I'll have to add that to the budget and see if it makes sense. Right. There you go. Yeah, you have to keep the insurance on. All right. So we're running out of questions for the minute. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to sneak over and say, hey there, buddy. I hadn't been over here, but Mila's already gave me the stop looking over there once, and I was innocent. I hadn't done anything. So hey, Ken Chambers. We got Ken Chambers. We got Robert Kynes. Hey, brother. Jacob Wagner. William Bursnell. Steve Welch. Mr. Welch, I'm glad you're here. Brad Lloyd. SATED 00. I don't know what that. Satted. I don't know what that is, sir. Richard McClendon. Glad to see you, brother. You smell funny. Yep, that's there. Gerald Barker. I think I said Brad Lloyd already. Yep, I think I got everybody. Yeah, so yeah, welcome in, guys. I'm glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys are getting ready for Christmas because that's coming. Don't forget the wife. So one other thing. Yesterday we had a driver put out of service, just so you know. He got put out of service because his tire was 50% deflated. He had one trailer tire that was 50% deflated. So you understand, and I'm telling my guys this, is you can kick those tires every morning, but once, twice, 3 times a week, you need to put a gauge on them things and make sure what you're kicking's right, because temperature gives you the bad feel. So be sure we are absolutely checking those tire pressures, guys. It's not as bad now as it is in the summertime. In the summer, it's terrible. But yeah, be sure we're doing that. Now, with that out of service, the officer let him air up the tire and he went on down the road. But that stays on us now for 2 years. Okay. That one screw up is with us for 2 years. So we're going to have a talk to that gentleman. And yeah. All right. So what do we got? I think you have the same wheels I do. How do you get the inside ones? I don't, because I don't have the inside. My inside ones are just steel rims, Steve. My question to you is, what'd you do to your rear, your trailer wheels to get them so shiny? Did you sit out there and buff those things or what, man? I got a sunburn when I looked at the picture. They look really good, man. They really do. Okay, what you got? Good. Yeah, Steve sent in a picture the other day of his wheels. I was like, God damn. So I'm assuming he polished those things up, probably with mother's wheel polish, but they look sharp. Go ahead, Roger. What is the max that can be loaded on the 40-foot trailers? The CDL Hotshot. I see most trailers with 12K axle. That's right. I have one trailer that the max is 20,000 pounds. Most of the rest of the trailers with a 15.9 are right at 18,000 pounds. Okay. The one number, Roger, that people forget is that the truck transports 15% of the trailer, the total weight on the trailer. So, that's where people start arguing with me. Well, it can't carry that. It's only 24,000. Yes, it can. Do the math. Okay. You put 18,000 pounds on your trailer and your trailer weighs 9. That's 27,000 pounds. Take away your 15%, and that'll leave you right on the 24,000 pound mark. Okay. All right. So what else you got?
Steve carried the shiny stuff with him.
No. Steve carries I carry my stuff with me. I hear you, man. I've never polished mine, but I'm going to before the next parade. So, Steve, one other question: Did you get a date scheduled for your repairs where that crazy lady hit you? If not, I would like you to let me know when that's going to happen, because I'm hoping maybe July 4th for the parade, you can bring yours down and run it in the parade down here with me. So, yeah, that's if that's a possibility. Plus, McClendon was asking about a barbecue, and I was thinking, well, if we put anything together, it'd have to be around the 4th of July. I couldn't do it any other time of year. So we're trying to get that planned out, or at least, look at it and see if it works. Anything else? Nothing?
He said all the paperwork is done and now it's sent to insurance.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, 2025 is coming up quick. So, make sure your money's right. Make sure your family's right. Make sure your equipment's right. And, if this is something you're wanting to do, it's not jumping in, just so you understand. This isn't a jump in. This is opening a business and running a business. So if this is something you want to do, then do it. Follow your dreams. Just know what you're doing before you make it happen. Because listen, one other thing too, so many times people, and you would think after 100 and however many videos we've done here, I don't change to preach. I preach the same. Get your CDL, guys. Get your CDL. Because once you start this, there's no stopping. You can't stop for 4 to 6 weeks to get your CDL. Why? Because your truck payment's coming. If you have a trailer payment, it's coming. Your insurance coming every week. So there's no stopping. You have to get it and go. Once you're ready, you got to go. Once you start going, you got to go. And a lot of people just keep coming at me with like, well, I'll get my CDL later. No, you won't. No, you won't. Stop bullshitting yourself. You're not bullshitting me. You're not going to drag a 6-year-old around in an old truck trying to make a few bucks. I can guarantee you that. So, something that silly. What came to my head? What are you going to do with that child while you're sitting along the road with a flat tire? What are you going to do with a 6-year-old? People just sometimes they take a good I don't want to say a smack in the face, but a good dose of reality to realize what they're thinking. Because as a man who loves tools, me, I love tools. I can talk my ass into about anything needing a tool. Okay. If I need a tool, I can talk myself into getting it. But, there are some things where I have to say, what am I going to do with it? Where am I going to put it? And give myself a dose of reality. So look, guys, anything else? We're done. We're out of here for the week. God bless you. God bless your family. Love your family because it's all you got. And yeah, we're going, hold on. We got one last one. Some backhoes are roughly 25,000 pounds. Nope. No, you can't put 25,000 pounds on it, Roger. No. And I know some backhoes are 25,000 pounds. You're going to need 15K axles for that. So, if you got them, great. If you don't, you have to bypass it. And you have to look at those ranges and weight. You max out at 18,000 and don't try to risk it with anything else. Because if you get put out of service for weight, that's a huge fine and you're stuck with the load sitting there. Especially if you're a single operator. If you're a single truck operator, you get put out of service for weight, you're going to get a huge fine. And then what are you going to do with what's on your truck and trailer? Your truck's overloaded, your trailer's overloaded. Now you're going to have to beg somebody to help you move this thing, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. So, yeah, stay underweight, legal, safe, profitable. Got it? All right, guys. Love your family. We are out of here. If you need me, pick up the phone, call me. I'm here. God bless you, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. We'll talk to you next time. See you next. Let's do it.